Hello, today I'm going to show a little bit about model making. It's take a kid to work day today, her granddaughter in this case. So I'm going to show Trinity here how I make my models. And this is one of them for once. For instance, it's the Star Destroyer. But that's not what we're going to show you. We're going to build. I have another model of mine, and we'll take you outside and show you what we do. So this is the model kit we're going to make. We're going to cast up, I should say, in kit form. Basically, this is from a movie called Blade Runner with Harrison Ford, as probably a lot of you know. So we're going to go up there and cast them up for you. Will you follow me this way? Okay. So you can see the workspace here is just a garage. No, not some big fancy shop like some people think I have. Nope, it's out here in the great outdoors. And just this ugly tables. I use metal doors for the tables because it's easy to scrape the resin off it. You don't want to use wood ones. What I do is I keep my resin in the refrigerator. The reason why is it's so bloody hot here that I have to keep it cool, which slows down the curing process. So I take 5-gallon kits and I pour them into these 1-gallon containers. As you can see, they're getting a little ugly. You got to buy some new ones because after a while, you have to, even they get contaminated, you have to throw them out. And what we do is over here and get a little resin pot here. Pour it in here. I know the resin so well, using it for so long, I know exactly what to pour these days. So, judging by what we have in parts, pour it in like that. So what do you think? It's kind of weird, isn't it?
She wants to stir.
Wants to stir it? Oh, I would let you, but there's like a certain amount of time to do it. And maybe someday though. Guess if you stir. Make sure the resin molds are clean. And then pour it in. Just like making a, cupcakes or something like that. Or a spinner cupcakes anyways. This just to kind of spill it in there. Don't want to put too much in or not enough in, or you end up with a lot of sanding headaches later. Now these, you need a syringe. So where's my great big syringe? That should be right here. Pardon me. Open that up a little bit and squeeze some resin down in there. I have a funny looking mold, but it's actually the windshield frame. This mold leaked just a little bit, happens from time to time, so I have to top it off. And then all of these little guys, all the tiny little parts with all the undercuts, so I try to syringe those guys. This syringe is a little too big really to do this. Probably can hear the neighbors in the video. It's alright. Pour all these silly little things up. Very time consuming. I like using silk plastic because of all the resins I found out there, anywhere from Vagabond to Smooth On, it cures the slowest.
And what company is that?
Silpak.
Silpak.
Yeah, they call it silk plastic. This here is to whittle out whatever little undercut bubbles there might be. Some of this because there's some super detailed parts in here. Like this one especially has undercuts. You try to plant the best you can. If you know the molds as well as I do, you know exactly where to sit there and whittle the stick, as I like to call it. Okay, that's all tacked off. Oh, now, nope. What I do is I have a little extra resin, so why not pour up an extra part? Let's pour up the back.
It's cool, huh?
So move some things around here a little bit so it'll fit in the pot like that. I had the pot made, some rubber bands around it. I actually had this big square pot made because, one, I couldn't afford an autoclave, which most people use, and two, it's square so you can fit more in it. And it has shelves in it and everything else. Of course, since I'm doing tall molds, no shelves. Then syringe more of the stuff in here. Probably these kits will go to Wonderfest to sell them. I'm going to bring 2 kits to sell at Wonderfest. Hopefully somebody will buy them. They'll pay for the trip, hopefully.
That would be good.
Whoa.
Oops.
Sorry. That's probably a blooper. These little holes it's leaking out are called air holes. It's so the resin can run out, so it doesn't trap bubbles. This thing I'm doing here, there's some detail right here, so I do this here to sort of make sure that it gets all the resin in. And a little more resin. Ooh, pardon me.
My goodness.
I hate it when that happens. Then this one I just pour it. Now it's starting to get a little thick.
Stuff in
It's called caramelizing because it looks like caramel. I like caramel.
it. Yes, he does.
Oh yeah, she can vouch for that.
Mm-hmm. Where are you guys putting
Take care. Okay,
Probably on YouTube.
enough of this.
Oh, yeah.
We must get in. This one's starting to cure a little bit, so let's get it in the pot. Slide her in there. Close the big door like that.
Oh, 40 lbs.
It's over 40 pounds and you die. And the air forces it out, forces the door out. And you get your pressure other than using like paint pots where you have to close the lid and screw all little things on, which a lot of times don't have time for. Just one door, so done. And so much for the resin marathon. So that's it for now. We'll come back and look at the parts when they're done. Okay. Well, here I am, taking a shower and everything, letting the stuff cure. And we're going to pull the parts out. Slide this out. And we'll just pull out a couple of parts here so you can see what it looks like. This is a bunch of little, this is the interior parts. So this has all the insides of the doors and all sorts of crazy little parts in here. It's still a little green yet for the smaller parts, so we'll just take the doors off for now because they're heavier. But here's the doors. I'll clean up the flashing. Why not? And this part here is the bottom of the ship. Gotta redo this mold. A little long in the tooth, I think. And there's the bottom piece, it looks like. These pieces here, I'll pop out of there. That's a mirror, but it's not the right size, so I discarded that when I made new mirrors. So get rid of that. And oops. And that's it. That's part of the process from there to there. You can turn it off now. Bye-bye. Now we get the rest of the parts, like the vacuum foam dome, which you have to cut out. Glue the piece on here first, and then you cut around the plastic part, which I just showed you. The decals, which are all watermarked, so you don't have to cut them all out. And then these are the bottom windows here, which I leave the plastic on here so it won't get scratched. And all these things are all the little clear parts. You know, from police lights to you name it, it's in here. And everything, all it's clear, even little mirrors. That's all in here. And just all the tiny little tidbits. And that's what goes into making that guy there. And so, what do you think about all this stuff, Trin?
It's awesome.